You know that moment when something shifts in your relationship and you can't fully explain it? She's still there, still talking to you, still replying. But something feels different. Less pull, less excitement, less of that thing you can't name, but you feel immediately when it's gone. And your brain goes straight to the usual place. Did I mess this up? Did I do something wrong? Or is she just losing interest? Here's what almost no one tells you. Sometimes it's not about what you did, it's about when you're doing it. Because the same behavior that worked at the beginning can push her away later. And if you don't understand that, you'll keep trying harder and slowly get worse results. You'll invest more, think more, try to fix things. And instead of getting closer, you create distance. So let's make this simple. At different points in her life, different things matter. Not randomly, not unpredictably, but in patterns you can actually notice if you pay attention. Once you see them, a lot of things suddenly make sense. Why it worked then, why it doesn't work now, and what you're actually supposed to do about it. Because what I'm about to show you isn't just about her, it's about why most men keep losing the same woman in different bodies, over and over again. Section 1. Her early 20s. The feeling phase. This is the phase where almost everything runs on feeling. Life is still open, undefined, flexible. So when she's with you, she's not asking, does this make sense long term? She's asking, how does this feel right now? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel alive? Does it feel different from everything else? And this is where a lot of guys mess it up without realizing it. They try to be too stable too early, too predictable, too structured, too ready. They show up like they already want the full relationship locked in. Future plans, clarity, direction. Sounds mature, but it doesn't feel attractive. It feels heavy, like something is already decided, before anything even started. Because in this phase, attraction needs movement. A bit of unpredictability, a bit of tension, a bit of, this could go somewhere. Not chaos, but definitely not control. If you try to build long-term security too early, you don't come across as stable. You come across as boring. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because what works at 22 can destroy you at 32. And most men never see that switch coming. Section 2. Late 20s to early 30s. The makes sense phase. Somewhere between her late 20s and early 30s, something shifts. And this is where most men get confused. Because from your perspective, nothing is wrong. You're still showing up, still putting in effort, still being the same guy, but suddenly, it doesn't land the same way anymore. Less excitement, more distance, more questions. And you're asking yourself, if this worked before, why doesn't it work now? Here's why. Because now it's not just about how it feels. Now it's about whether this actually makes sense. Can you be relied on? Can you handle pressure? Can you stay grounded when things aren't perfect? She's not just reacting to the moment anymore, she's thinking about the future. And this is where a lot of guys lose her without realizing it. They were good at creating attraction, but not at carrying something real. They knew how to create a feeling, but not how to support a relationship when it becomes real life. And that creates a very specific shift. What used to feel exciting starts to feel unstable. What used to feel fun starts to feel uncertain. Think about it this way. Picture two guys, same woman, same moment in the relationship, same shift happening. The first one feels it. So he does what he's always done, he turns it up. More dates, more effort, more grand gestures, more of everything that worked before. And she notices it. She appreciates that he's trying. But something still feels off. Because he's bringing energy when she needs reliability. He's creating moments when she needs consistency. He's showing up loud when she needs him to show up solid. The second guy feels the same shift. But he doesn't turn up the volume. He steadies the ground. Less intensity, more presence, less excitement, more trust. She doesn't always say it out loud, but she feels it. Every single day. That's the difference between effort that looks good and effort that actually lands. And if you don't catch that, you respond the wrong way. More intensity, more excitement, more effort. But that's not what's missing anymore. What's missing is trust. And if you don't see that and you keep solving the wrong problem, and then in her late 30s, the rules change again, quietly, completely. And this time, most men don't even notice until it's already over. Section 3. Late 30s to early 40s, the fit into life phase. Somewhere in her late 30s to early 40s, something becomes very clear. It gets quieter, less emotional, less reactive, more direct. And this is where a lot of guys think she became complicated. No, she became precise. Now, it's no longer about whether you're interesting. It's about whether you actually fit into her life. Can you stay calm when things get uncomfortable? Can you handle disagreements without turning them into drama? Can you be consistent, even when it's not exciting? Because now effort is judged differently, not by how it looks, but by whether it works. Being charming for a few hours is not the same as being solid over time. And this is where a lot of men lose the connection. Not because they changed, but because they didn't. They kept doing what used to work, in a situation where it no longer applies. And that's exactly where it falls apart. And then there's a phase most men completely underestimate. They think it matters less. It doesn't. It just becomes different. And if you miss this one, you miss everything. Section 4. The real compatibility phase. Around 45 and beyond. Less noise, less performance, less emotional drama, more calm, more depth, more real compatibility. Now it's not about proving anything anymore. It's about how it feels to build something real with you. The kind of presence that doesn't need constant validation. The kind of connection that doesn't need to be intense all the time to feel strong. And if you still try to create attraction the same way you did at the beginning, you don't come across as passionate. You come across as out of sync. Like you're reacting to a version of the relationship that no longer exists. And that's where most men lose it completely. Not because they're not good enough, but because they're stuck in the wrong moment. This isn't just about her. It's about you, because if you want something to last, you can't just be good at the beginning. You need to know how to stay relevant when things change. And that's where most guys fail. They either change completely and lose themselves, or they refuse to change at all and lose the relationship. Both don't work. What actually works is simpler. You stay who you are, but you stop acting like every situation needs the same version of you. Because it doesn't. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. It's not that she changed, it's that the situation changed, and you didn't adjust. Most men don't lose women because they're not attractive enough. They lose them because they're out of sync. They bring intensity when stability is needed. They bring structure when energy is needed. They bring effort that looks good instead of effort that actually feels right. And that's why something that once felt easy suddenly feels impossible. Not because it's broken, because it evolved. So what do you actually do with this? You don't chase every change. You don't become someone else. You don't erase yourself just to keep her, but you start paying attention. You start adjusting. You stay grounded. And you understand something most people never say out loud. A relationship doesn't fail because you weren't good enough. It fails because you were good at the wrong moment.